Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2022 for Season 3 of Tudor Pro Cycling. Last episode we achieved what we fought hard for in the first 2 seasons, a pro team status. Obviously our end goal is to join World Tour and win every single big race that matters, including the Tour de France. Let's take a look at our new signings. Firstly, our key signing, Casper Andersen, a talented young sprinter from Denmark, 21 years old, 76 sprint, 77 acceleration, so our best sprinter in our team. And we also have a cobble stat of 70, so quite versatile. Next up, Hugo Page, 22 years old from France, also a sprinty type, 72 sprint with 74 acceleration. Next to the sprinty types, also some support in the mountains. Simon Pelot, a climby type, 71 mountain, 72 hills. Now on to our German Cancellara, Johannes Vogt, already really strong. 73 cobbles at the age of 19 with major potential in cobble areas. He's also pretty good when it comes to time trial. That's where the Cancellara nickname comes from. But this man is really talented and we're going to use him throughout the entire season already. Another talent then, not from Germany but from Switzerland. We've got Sondreger, 6-star potential in puncher, already showing at 70 hills at the age of 18. So this guy's talented and he's going to show it at our team. And lastly, arguably our most important signing of our list here, Maxence Prigent. He's the man that will win a Grand Tour for us in the future. I can feel it in my bones. 6-star potential overall, that is absolutely mad. Also in stage races, not amazing when it comes to time trial, but he's got a good time trial to start off at 69, now at 67 mountains, 67 hills. This will be our future GC rider. So we signed quite a few riders and not a single rider left our team in the last transfer season. Next to that, we see some progression on the rise that were already in the team, like a Sean Flynn on 76 sprint right now. Next to that, Gage Hecht also grew 76 cobble, 77 flat. At the age of 25, still growing like that is pretty significant. Also for Gustav Wang, now 20 with 76 time trial, so he's becoming the legend he's supposed to be. That is the introduction of our new team of 2024 Tudor Pro Cycling. We're going to try and get this team to World Tour in the next 2 in-game seasons, so let's get that working. When it comes to our season, I'd like to start in Australia. We've got a sponsor objective at the Cadel Evans Great Ocean Road Race, and I added the Santos Down Under as a wildcard, so we're not certain we'll get it yet. After that, we have our usual business, French races in February, then we move towards March, where Paris-Nice is a hopeful wildcard. Hopefully we can ride it. At the end of March, we move towards the Classic. So for example, I'd love to ride an E3 in Gent-Wevelgem, but most importantly, Brugge de Panne as our main goal, as it's also a sponsor objective, and Casper Andersen can actually do something there. April then, build up towards the likes of Tour de Romandie, one of our most important races in the season. I also requested a wildcard for the Giro, but I don't expect to get it, so don't get your hopes up yet. June and July have the Tour de Suisse, our main goal of the season now that we are a pro team. Hopefully we get the wildcard. And in September we finish off the season with the likes of the Benelux Tour with Casper Andersen, and then after that we try Quebec and Montreal, hopefully, if we get the wildcards with Baudin. Paris Tour, the final race of the year. I said it already, Tour de Suisse, Tour de Romandie are 2 most important goals of the season, next to a top 5 at the national champs in France. That last one should work. Tour de Suisse and Romandie stage wins will not be easy, but it's our main goal. We'll try to get it. Next to selecting races for our race calendar, I also decided which races each rider is going to ride, assigning their schedule individually in the race planner. As you can see, in June there's an empty spot in the calendar. That is because we don't have a confirmed wildcard yet for the Tour de Suisse, for example. So we'll have to update this planner accordingly throughout the season. For the planning, we also had to assign rider objectives to make sure the riders know what their primary objectives are going to be throughout the season. For example, Casper Andersen will focus on the Santos Down Under. Next to that, Minerva Brugge de Panne Classic. We've also got Tour de Suisse, and finally we've got Benelux Tour. Baudin's season also starts in the Tour Down Under. After that, Paris-Nice, he goes to Swiss, and finally the Canadian Classics, Quebec and Montreal. And our third and last main leader this season starts off with Milano Torino as main goal, Romandie and Swiss. Obviously, I assigned goals to every single rider, not just our leaders, but they're a bit less relevant. Last part of the calendar planning was making sure that the riders are ready when it comes to their form at their first objective. So the earlier the first objective, the higher the preseason form. On to something different then, staff and training. I decided to hire 6 coaches, 3 of which are groundbreaking, 1 of which is modern, the other is traditional. Let's also book a 3-star training camp in Briançon for our riders to make sure we get that tiny bit of a boost for our preseason form. Lastly, let's take a look at scouting. We've got 2 scouts less. The African one is not here anymore. His contract ran out, and I honestly want to spend his salary on riders by the end of the season, so I'll keep it at 2 scouts for now. I sent these 2 scouts to the most logical area. Theo Gaillard goes to France, Luca Meyer goes towards Switzerland and Italy. Both scouts made sure that they don't go to too many areas so they still have their double efficiency bonus because they're not overburdened with work. Actually, let us start a U23 team. I think it's time to do so now that we are a pro team. How about we call it Tudor Not So Pro Team? Let's take down the amount of riders to 8 riders to make it cheaper for us. Oh snap, I need to keep it under 20 characters, damn it. I guess we'll have to go with Tudor kiddos then. There we go, our team is made, and we've got a rider that's actually quite talented. 71 hills for Luca Yeni, but then again his potential is not that large, and there's a random South Korean rider in our Swiss U23 team, but I'll take that. That is it for our season preparation. Let's head over to our first emails confirming wildcards, hopefully. Oh my god, I just received the best email we could have gotten, and I did not expect it at all. Apparently in the previous season, we were one of the top 2 teams in the Super Prestige ranking that is not a World Tour team in terms of UCI points. As a consequence, we've got guaranteed access to any World Tour race we want, so we don't need to care too much about the wildcards, we're getting them anyway. What an absolute gift is email. That means we won't have a single problem with riding Santos Down Under, and next to that, a Grand Tour is possible and is of the choosing to us. We can decide which Grand Tour we want to ride this year. And I've made my decision. I will remove the Giro d'Italia from our schedule in 2024. And I will add the biggest race within cycling, the Tour de France, to our schedule already this year. No, we're not gonna hunt for a victory in the GC, but we will try and go for the smaller things like a KOM jersey or a stage win in the mountains in the breakaway here or there. That sounds like a really fun challenge in our first year with World Tour access. Next to that, to spicing up the final part of the season, Il Lombardia also added to our schedule, a fun Italian classic to end it off. Obviously, this has a major impact on our season planning, so let's work on that for a bit. There we go, the rider planning and objectives have been updated. First of all, Casper Andersen will now focus on the Tour de France. Next to him, Baudin does exactly the same. And finally, Yannis Vazar focuses on both the Tour de France and Il Lombardia. Obviously, these changes actually have a negative impact on our Tour de Suisse team, but that's a risk I'm willing to take because I think our sponsors will be just as happy with a stage at the Tour de France than a stage at the Tour de Suisse. And if they're not, they're bloody stupid. Anyway, that was a pretty amazing email to receive. Let's continue. Wait a second, this is not supposed to happen. The Santos Down Under is giving out 0 wildcards, but we've got guaranteed access to World Tour races. We should be getting one if we want it, but they don't want to give it to us. Come on, guys. Some other bad news. We've got 2 riders regressing in potential. First of all, Fredheim from 5 to 4.5 potential out of 6. Sondreger also, and he's going from 5.5 to 5, so the rider we just signed is getting worse already. But hey, it could have been worse, it could have been Maxence Prigent. Looks like we found an organizer that does like us. We're getting a wildcard for the Tour de France. Thank you, ASO. Next to that, once again ASO with the Pyrenees wildcard. Just for confirmation, we've lost our access to the Tour Down Under, so it's gone from our schedule. On to our first race of the season then, the Cadel Evans Great Ocean Road Race. Some top tier riders at the start line like Jasper Philipsen, Biniam, but also the legend himself, Casper Andersen of Tudor Pro Cycling, who has 78 sprint already. Crazy. 4.5 kilometers to go in the first race for Casper Andersen at our team. We've got 2 riders ahead, that is Pedersen, not Mes Pedersen, but Casper Pedersen, also Remy Cavagna. So 2 very strong riders. We need to up it significantly to catch them right now. Gustav Wang at full force with 3 kilometers to go. He's gonna start the lead out right now. Hugo Page in the wheel will launch right now. Casper Andersen in the wheel. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Very narrow here. Last kilometer. Casper Andersen launches versus Philipsen. Casper Andersen versus Philipsen. Casper Andersen, Casper Andersen. Come on, come on, come on, come on. KICKR on the left. Oh, I think we've got it. Yes, yes, yes. The first race he rides for our team. The first race he wins. Casper Andersen. Wonderful. This race might not feel like it, but this is our first World Tour victory, a B-rated World Tour race. That makes our first sponsor objective a major success right now. With a blue star, we needed a top 10, we got a victory. As a quick update, Casper Andersen is not the only rider that grew. We've also got the likes of Robin Fradeveau at 76 sprint. We just have too many sprinters. A lot of you told me that I shouldn't have re-signed the likes of Alex Vogel. You're honestly right about it. We have too many sprinters. Hola, Yannis Vazar also grew from 74 mountain to 75, so a better climber in our squad, always welcome. With our first race over, let's head to our second race of the season, Étoile de Bessèges. A 5-day stage race starting off with a sprint. Actually, it's an uphill sprint in Bellegarde. After that, another punchy finish on day 2. A hill stage on day 3 with a flat ending. And the Mont Bouquet climbing finish on day 4. The race finishes off with a time trial. For stage 1, we are at least on the favorites page with Sean Flynn right here. Nonetheless, our big leader for GC will be Alex Baudin. Last 5 kilometers, our train is up and running. Baudin last wheel, but Flynn is our sprinter for the day. Baudin's just staying safe in that wheel. 99 on Prigent. We're going to take off with Wang right now just before the climb. Prigent can get out of the way right now. And hopefully Page can give a wonderful lead out fairly soon once we hit the last 2 kilometers. Page can launch. Wang can stop. Flynn is ready to launch. Not yet, not yet, not yet. Last kilometer incoming. There we go. Flynn can launch. Baudin the wheel. Last 600 meters. Baudin can launch as well. Flynn versus Page versus whatever. I think we won't win. I think we won't win. I think it's Mes Pedersen that wins. Yes. Erik Bashka second. Hugo Page third. Flynn fourth. And Baudin sixth. So we bottled that. We should have launched a bit earlier with Baudin. And probably the same with Sean Flynn. When you've got 3 riders in the top 6 and not a single one wins, it's probably not a good day for your sprint team. Nonetheless, Hugo Page third, Flynn fourth. It's not the end of the world. Despite a similar parkour, the game doesn't see Mes Pedersen as a rider that can have a chance on day 2, but I disagree with that. 6 kilometers to go on this second stage. Flynn in last wheel, Baudin second last wheel, but today I'm going for Baudin because it is very punchy. The punches were the favorites on paper, but next to that I also want the bonus seconds for GC. So let's 99 with Gustav Wang. Hugo Page will launch, not yet. Let's wait a bit longer because the climb hasn't started yet. Plateau de Castellas. 1.9 kilometers, 5.7%. Page can launch at 1.5k to go. Gustav Wang out of the way. Baudin in the wheel. Let's launch right now with Baudin. Flynn still in the wheel. I launched a bit early with Baudin. I launched a bit early, but Flynn can also launch, but I think it might be a 1-2. Egan Bernal is here. Oh la la, but Baudin's gonna win this one with utter ease. Early celebration. Might have been a mistake, but I'll do it anyway. There we go. Not only did we get a victory, but also 3 seconds on the likes of Bernal and Benoit, and 14 seconds of the rest. If I did not celebrate, that would have been more, so a mistake on my end. But hey, the GC leader is now Alex Baudin ahead of Egan Bernal and Sean Flynn, so I really can't complain. Day 3 then, another opportunity for the hilly sprinters. Tamanua as favored, we're not on the page, but I do believe Sean Flynn is perfect for this parkour, so let's try and win. 2.9 kilometers to go. I'm launching very late with Baudin as my first lead out. Page in the wheel, then Flynn in the third wheel, and I'm hoping to launch with Page right now. That is too early, I think. That is too early, I think. Flynn's dying in the wheel. Flynn will try and come around. Can he still win? It looks like Flynn will. I didn't expect it after seeing him die in the wheel of Page, but Flynn will take another victory for Tudor Pro Cycling at the Étoile de Bessèges. Another one in the pocket, so that's 3 victories in 4 races so far this season. So it's looking like it will become a very dominant season for the team this year. In GC, we are 1 second ahead of Baudin with Sean Flynn, so we're twisting it around in the team itself. The competition is still behind. Time for Le Mont Bouquet then. On paper, it looks like it's more for the climbers than the punchers. Egan Bernal being a name that is named as the favorite, but I do believe Baudin can survive because the climb is only 4.5 kilometers long. We've got 7 seconds on Bernal with Baudin, so let's hope we can keep that. It is quite fascinating that Maxence Prigent is currently reeling at the front of the peloton as an entry-level domestique, but in a few years, he could literally be fighting for the victory at a Grand Tour. 8 kilometers to go in the stage, 4 kilometers until we get to the Mont Bouquet climb at the end of this race. Baudin's looking good with Page and Wang representing him. Wait, is that an attack already by Nairo Quintana? We're not even on the climb yet. The man's attacking on the flat before Mont Bouquet. That makes 0 sense. On the climb now, immediate action by Dunbar for Bernal. Let's up our tempo towards 86. We've got a move on the left there. That is Ruben Guerrero together with James Shaw now moving up. Bernal trying to close down Guerrero and James Shaw. I want to help a bit, as in I want to move up myself. 2.3 kilometers to go now. Let's do 88, but not much more. We gotta be able to get this still. Come on. We are kind of blocked in. I don't like that. Too many B&B riders up the road. Bernal's moving up right there. Bernal is moving up. Hugo Page is ready as well to help out Baudin right now. Come on, my friend. Come on, come on, come on. Move up, move up. Last 1.2 kilometers. It's gonna be tough to win this one. We're too far, I'm afraid. We are too far. Bernal's gonna win and most likely claim GC. Baudin's gonna get a top 3 on the stage, most likely. He launches last minute, but Oh, no. Guerrero flies past Bernal, which is good for our bonus seconds, but I'm afraid that we're too far anyway. So one of the 3 riders up the road will most likely claim the leader's jersey now. When it comes to GC, we are now on the 4th spot, 11 seconds from Egan Bernal, the new leader at Étoile de Bessèges, Benoit in 2nd, Guerrero in 3rd. With only a time trial left, we're unlikely to get that top 3, to be honest, especially because Laurens de Plus will likely fly past us. Nonetheless, there's an opportunity for Gustav Wang to get a top 10, I guess, so let's give that a try. Gustav Wang is on the road. It's a short time trial, so the intermediate point is not that far. Actually, it's also close to the finish line, so we'll see soon enough how good he's doing. It is coming up, here it is, and we've got 2nd on 10 seconds, so that's pretty good. And now crossing the finish line, he comes in 2nd again on 13 seconds of Affini. Now it is time for Alex Baudin, our GC rider, to go towards the first intermediate of this race. Let's see how well he does. Come on, let's not do too badly. 43 seconds behind, Jesus Christ, we might as well back up. In the end, he finished 61st on 55 seconds, so he dropped in GC towards a whopping 5th spot, so it's actually not too bad. Bernal wins the overall race. Despite not winning GC, our sponsor must be happy because we have stage wins as requested. 2 actually instead of 1. I think if we get 2 stage wins instead of 1, we should get a blue star instead, no? Anyway, in the next race, we need a top 5 in GC in the Tour des Alpes Maritimes du Var. But I'm afraid that one is for next time. As you know, 3 victories means 30 euros to the charity pot, so we're now at full 80 euros in that pot. So once again, a successful episode. And a great start to our 3rd season as Tudor Pro Cycling. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon for the next episode. Goodbye.